Today we are going to study about the Liebig's law of the minimum. In the 19th century, the German scientist Justus von Liebig formulated the law of the minimum. This law, also known as the law of limiting factors, states that the growth and reproduction of an organism is limited by the resource that is in shortest supply, regardless of the abundance of other resources. This means that a deficiency of even one essential nutrient can limit the growth and productivity of an organism, even if all other nutrients are abundant. For example, if a plant has an abundance of water and sunlight, but is lacking in nitrogen, its growth will be limited by the availability of nitrogen. In other words, the plant's potential for growth is limited by the minimum amount of nitrogen available. The law was proposed by the German chemist and agricultural scientist Justus von Liebig in the mid-19th century. He observed that the growth of plants was not determined by the total amount of resources available, but rather by the scarcest resource. For example, if a plant needs both nitrogen and phosphorus to grow, but only has a limited supply of phosphorus, then the growth of the plant will be limited by the amount of phosphorus available, even if there is plenty of nitrogen. Now that we have learned about the Liebig's law of the minimum, let's learn about the role of temperature on the distribution of biota. The role of temperature on the distribution of biota or living organisms is crucial and strongly influences their geographic range and habitat suitability. Temperature affects the physiology, metabolism, and life cycle of organisms, and different species have varying temperature tolerances and optima. Thermal range and tolerance. Each species has a thermal range, which is the range of temperatures in which it can survive and reproduce. This range varies among species, and certain organisms are adapted to specific temperature ranges. Species also have thermal tolerances, which define the upper and lower limits of temperature they can withstand. Biogeographic distribution. Temperature plays a significant role in determining the distribution of biota. Species are often adapted to specific temperature regimes, and the distribution is constrained by the availability of suitable temperature conditions. For example, cold water fish species are found in polar regions or high-altitude lakes, while tropical plant species thrive in warm and humid environments. Ecological adaptations. Organisms exhibit various adaptations to cope with different temperature conditions. Some species have physiological adaptations such as antifreeze proteins in cold environments or heat tolerance mechanisms in deserts. Climate change impacts. Temperature changes, particularly due to climate change, can significantly impact the distribution and abundance of biota. Rising temperatures may cause shifts in the geographic range of species, affecting their interactions with other organisms and potentially leading to changes in ecosystem dynamics. Temperature and ecosystem functioning. Temperature influences biological processes, including nutrient cycling, primary production, and decomposition rates. Changes in temperature can affect these processes, altering the functioning and productivity of ecosystems. So as a result, temperature greatly influences the distribution of biota. To learn about an equally interesting topic, Selford's law of tolerance, click on this video.